Hey everybody, this is Faint, and I just wanted to show you something that I did very quickly, which was hooking up the Take on Helicopters content with Arma 3. So right now I'm in Arma 3 of the game, and it's the alpha version. And right now I'm just playing around with the different Take on Helicopters. This is MD 500, I believe. And there's many other, all the helicopters look like they transferred over pretty easily. Basically all I did was make a new add-ons folder and copy and pasted the various pbos from Take on Helicopters over to Arma 3, and then I just activated it in the options. There's a bug when I did this where if I walk forward and don't move my mouse, I'll just keep walking forward forever. I don't think that's an Arma 3 bug. I believe that is as a result of the transferring of the Take on Helicopter stuff over. As you can see, the instruments are present, but they are not functional. That's including the instruments inside the cockpit as well as the ones that are in the bottom middle of the screen. I haven't looked at the options to see if I can turn off the instruments in the bottom middle of the screen. It doesn't really matter, I guess. The sound is also not working. However, the compass attached to the windscreen is working, which is kind of nice. So right now I'm just flying around and showing some of the different aircraft that I was able to transfer over. And again, I really can't take credit for doing anything other than copying and pasting the pbos from Take on Helicopters over to Arma 3. But it's kind of nice seeing some additional aircraft in the game, since Arma 3 currently doesn't have that many different aircraft that you can fly around. I just recently got some rudder pedals after actually seeing Dyslexie's rudder pedal video that he released recently. It was a pretty motivational video, and I figured I might as well give rudders a shot. I had always wanted to get a pair, and I figured now's the time, now that Arma 3 is out. And I had recently switched over to piloting instead of with hands-on throttle and stick, with keyboard and mouse, and for flying helicopters, and it's much more accurate. So I figured I would like to get the pedals, because using the rudder on a keyboard sucks. It's like all on and all off, so you tend to whip around a lot. There are, in Take on Helicopters, there are ambient vehicles such as these boats. I was able to move those over as well. But you can see with the rudder, I'm able to, or with the rudder pedals rather, I'm able to very precisely change the rotation of the aircraft, much more so than you can with keyboard inputs. Here's a destroyer, I believe. And this is just an ocean liner coming up in the distance. For those of you who are wondering how I'm looking around and flying at the same time, I'm using Track IR. If you're playing Arma 3, I highly recommend getting Track IR. It's not that expensive, and it really opens up a lot of functionality to the game that you don't otherwise get, or that is otherwise extremely difficult to get by just using keyboard. I think it's the Alt key to free look. When you free look with the keyboard and mouse, you basically have to give up your control over your mouse, controlling movement of the aircraft. So if you can, the more you can separate inputs to different parts of your body, like your head movement to your head, it really helps move around. Specifically with flying, but also with just navigating the game even on foot. So here I'm going to try and land on the back of this boat, this destroyer. I think this is the destroyer. Anyway, so I'm going to try and land here. As you'll see in a second, I'm able to get on board. but there seems to be no friction, and I believe the boat started moving once I bumped into it, and so the aircraft was not able to actually land on it like you can in Arma 2. So I figured I'd try this other boat over here, or ship I should say. I really wish there was wind noise or some sort of engine sound, because once you start flying around and there's no sound at all, it's kind of disorienting. So on this ship, I'm pretty much able to land on it, but the boat starts sinking from the weight of the aircraft, so I immediately just bug out, head back to shore. Just another note on the rudder pedals. Here I'm slowing down the aircraft by side slipping, and that's something that's a lot of fun to do. It's kind of like if you're ever ice skating, and with hockey ice skates, you can slide to a stop by digging in and going sideways. And it's kind of the same thing, and it's very difficult to do if you don't have precise control over your rudder. So now that I have these rudder pedals, I'm able to do that a lot more easily. And this move as well, this nice, clean, slow move. It's much more controlled than when using a keyboard. I'd like to continue using my throttle from my hands-on throttle and stick because it gives you such precise control over the engine speed, or rotor, really the collective, and but there's I'm having some problems with not using the joystick and only using the throttle. So for now, I'm still using the keyboard for using throttle inputs. This is the Huey. Now, I haven't copied everything over from Take on Helicopters. There were quite a few other pbos that didn't seem to be involved with the functionality of the aircrafts. So I didn't copy them over. And maybe if I did, I'd get the sound to work. I did transfer over the sound PBO, but it's not working, and dubbing and a couple other things that sound like they might be involved with sound. I'm not sure why it's not playing. It might actually be file format conflict or something. Do these aircraft handle like the aircraft in Take on Helicopters, or do they handle like Arma 3? That's a good question. I haven't flown Take on Helicopters in a while, but from memory, it's much more difficult to fly those aircraft. These aircraft were pretty simple to fly, so I'm going to guess that it's an engine change thing that causes the difficulty of aircraft flight. Or maybe it's a setting in the options that I have not enabled. I actually have not looked. That might be the case. Like kind of like an arcade mode or something. So this is Marine 1, which is kind of like analogous to the aircraft that the President of the United States uses. I think it's the wrong aircraft, but it's the right paint scheme. Here I'm trying to figure out how to open the door, and that stupid bug keeps moving me forward and backwards. Stairs are not climbable. So it's weird. Those sound effects work, of like climbing up the stairs and hooking up the seatbelt, but the rotor sounds, the wind noise, none of that stuff works. In the gear, there seems to be applied first aid kits automatically to any of the aircraft that I placed in the editor. In the cockpit in this aircraft, you can see on the left there's a picture-in-picture screen. Right now it's concentrating on the back of one of the other aircraft that I'd placed. I'm not sure why, but some of the aircraft are also receiving that same sort of feed. I don't know if it's a module that needs to be enabled or what, but anyway, that's what happens when you don't perfectly port stuff over. You just copy and paste stuff and see what happens. So here I'm going to test the observer camera that this aircraft has. There's another picture-in-picture. It seems to be working correctly. It's tied to a camera down in the nose of this aircraft, and you can tell it's a forward-looking infrared or FLIR camera. So here I'm going to get in the Huey. In the really loud. It's so loud in the left gunner position. So those sound effects work, if you couldn't tell. I'm now going to get into the co-pilot seat and see if I can control anything in there. Again, there's a picture-in-picture. I don't know what's going on with that. There's also shaky hands happening for some reason. Yeah, I was trying to see if I can control the angle of the searchlight, but it doesn't look like I can. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little video. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, please subscribe and or like the video. And I'll be happy to keep making more content like this. But until then, hope you guys are enjoying Arma 3 as much as I am, and stay tuned for another video on some other stuff that I'm working on. Take care.